crime and culture, right? And so the first thing that people are really, really upset about is what's happening in Chicago, okay? What's happening in Chicago, what's happening in New York, what's happening across the board. And I think that this is something that's interesting, and I wanted to share with you guys.
All this going down in Queens after officials say they received a wave of quality of life complaints from residents. Fox 5's Kendall Green live in Jackson Heights, Queens with the latest. Kendall.
Hey, good evening, Natasha and Teresa. Overnight, Mayor Adams and city officials say they were outside of massage parlors just like this one where they witnessed the illegal activity for themselves. And they say they moved in quickly this afternoon to shut this shop down along with several others. Dozens of NYPD officers prepped at the 115th precinct for a mission to shut down at least 6 brothels in Queens, operating under the guise of massage parlors. Mayor Adams and law enforcement officials scoped out the operation hours before making the official call Thursday morning to take the parlors down.
We all know what sex trafficking is about, and it's important to focus on the brothels who are creating this climate.
Police stormed into one Jackson Heights parlor around 4:45. Where neighboring businesses celebrated the takedown after months and months of complaints.
Finally, we are happy because they start standing in front of our door is a big mess for us.
Rajbir Kaur says she saw ladies luring men into the dimly lit prostitution parlor, lined with curtains and beds. This resident says he and his neighbors were well aware of what was going on within the walls of the shop.
All what I see is just girls calling the customers saying massage, and sometimes they even grabbing the customers inside. That's what I see a lot.
Mayor Adams, following the police sweep, briefed reporters on the message the city hopes to send. City Councilman Francisco Moya, who represents the community, tipped off police to the sex trafficking in the area. He says the brothels had parents in the community uneasy, knowing they were operating within just feet of a school.
What we saw in there is deplorable conditions.
Sex trafficking is real. And it's, these horrid conditions, this makes it clear why the New York City Police Department, we're not going to sit idly by and pretend that as though that it does not happen.
Now, so far, owners and workers at the alleged sex trafficking shops remain unidentified, and charges connected with this sting remain unknown. That's the latest from Jackson Heights. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Okay, so let's hold off for 1 second. Let's back up. As we see Mayor Adams over in New York walking by, giving briefings, right? When we see the people, the surveillance footage, all of this stuff. Do y'all remember a little while ago, where I was talking about and I was breaking down how Mayor Adams was saying that it was very difficult to be able to shut these places down. Now, all of a sudden, they showing up and they got all of this energy and this smoke for what's happening, although they knew what the issue was and they've been talking about what the issue is for a long time now. I did a whole segment on this a while ago where they were talking about and they were having conversations about how difficult it was for them to deal with this brothels that they've known about for a long time. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, give me a second. Because I might be able to find it. Because, see, if y'all are just going to get finessed and y'all just going to let them do these photo ops, we know that the mayor is never inside of the police department. We know that he's saying, oh, we're not just going to sit idly by. They just got a tip that these brothels was just out there. Man, if you don't shut that down.
Is this a situation that needs to be addressed? Is it impacting this neighborhood? There are several communities involved in a very negative way, and businesses.
Yes, and I would love to take a trip with you over there and show. I went out. This was brought to my attention by local leaders a few months ago, and I went out there.
This is months ago that I showed this exact same video, and I did another accompanying video of him basically speaking and saying, listen, we aware of the problem. There's migrants out there that's doing this, and we know about it. We just can't do anything to shut it down. And now they acting like, oh, man, we got a tip, and we just going in there right now. He just so happened to show up at the police department, and now they about to go in there and shut these places down over in Queens, New York. I knew about it, and I ain't even been into Queens. I did whole reports about this thing. Let's see what he was saying back then.
I think around about 1:30 a.m., and it was clear that there were illegal activity taking place there. And this is where idealism collides with realism. While we are fighting to address the issues of sex workers, sex trafficking, there are elected officials who are fighting against us, trying to legalize sex work. They believe it is a victimless crime. And I've had elected officials tell me that the women are just trying to work while you trying to harm them. There are real issues around illegal sex work, not only from STDs to sex trafficking, to young girls getting involved with it, to violence. So people who don't understand how serious this is, they are impeding our progress.
We had heard that some of the Venezuelan women that are coming in might have been part of this now, this increasing population.
Our intel is telling us there's a level of accuracy to that.
So you got intel. You've been familiar with it. You know that it's been going on. Now y'all want to give some credit to somebody and put them up there and say, hey, listen, we got a tip yesterday, and now we running in today. Man, these places been operating without any kind of problems for a long time. I did a whole segment on where school children, they be calling the mayor's office, they call the police department, they say they can't do nothing about it. You telling me that you got intel on it, and now all of a sudden y'all showing up. You know what? We're not just going to sit idly by. When we got a tip, we came in immediately in order to clean it up. Man, don't y'all know that this is an image issue? That they trying to make sure that he get the right image so that he can look good for his upcoming election because he's been looking so bad with regard to the migrant crisis?
And this is Mary, this is what happens when you create an atmosphere that people can't provide for themselves. You can't work illegally. You can't carry out your job. When I talk about the spiraling impact of how this is going to impact our city, this is what I'm talking about. It is going to impact the foundation of the quality of life of our.
So y'all know that this is all a finesse, man. Look, everything that you see and every camera that's in front of your face is not necessarily painting an accurate picture of what you're looking at. It's not, bro. It's all a finesse. He come in there and he's standing in there. And listen, I applaud the fact that you cleaned it up, but that's supposed to be what they doing in the first place, is cleaning it up. And the people around there is like, finally, it's happening. And then another tip. For all of these people that's running these brothels, you got to stop having the same finesse. It's the same thing. Oh, man, we just a massage parlor. All across the United States of America, it's all the same. Massage parlor, but don't nobody speak English, barricaded door. All of a sudden, it's only men going in there with hats down low like this. Thai massage parlor, Venezuelan massage parlor with happy ending in really small letters next to it. And everybody know what it is. And we sitting there like, so ain't nobody gonna say nothing? Everybody just gonna come in there and get finessed? And what kind of man are you? What kind of dude are you, right? Think about it. You really taking a risk. You gonna take a risk. You gonna just wing it. I'm gonna just go in here anyway. I'm gonna just go ahead and go in and see what happens. Hopefully I can make it out without any kind of arresting agents coming in and putting me in handcuffs, and then I got to go and register. Why would you risk your whole entire career, everything that you work for? It's just like that police officer that I had. He wasn't an officer. He was something else. But he had this good position, and he was married, and every morning he was going over into the area that everybody in Detroit know you're not supposed to go into, in order to pick him up a nice little hot prostitute and get him one off before he started his shift in the morning. Like, man, you so dumb. You so dumb. You an idiot. But anyways, That's what's happening over in New York. The big news that the mayor is over there busting up brothels and taking care of business on behalf of the people. And then over in Chicago, the people are still aggravated at what's going on. And this is what's happening to more business owners. You seen me show y'all what was happening to other business owners. This is what's happening to business owners over in Chicago, in addition to what's going on with the migrant crisis.
Hit 7 times since Christmas. You heard that right, 7 times at 2 locations, twice overnight. We first talked to the Chicago liquor store owner about this earlier this month. Now he's telling our Tara Molina he can't take any more.
Another day, another broken window for this liquor store owner. This location has been hit 4 times now just this month. The owner just told me his insurance won't cover him anymore.
It was 3 times in 1 week. Maybe I should play lottery.
Benjamin Porkalili isn't laughing anymore. That's from when we caught up with him earlier this month.
They steal it from me over and over and over again. Feel like a nightmare.
Today,
the police keep saying on their cars, serve and protect. I don't see anything. I'm pissed off.
With his 2 Chicago stores hit 7 times since Christmas Day, both burglarized overnight.
I didn't want to even come in and open my doors. For what? Get robbed again?
He caught the crew on surveillance cameras at this location, smashing through the only glass left to smash, with the rest of the business boarded up, then using shopping baskets to clear out the store. Eventually, you see a police cruiser behind the car this owner says they ended up driving to burglarize his Old Town location.
Same gang. Went to 4 different locations, 5 different locations. Even police told me that. They went to a couple of other liquor stores around here.
Sephora, right next door, also hit. Chicago police wouldn't say why they didn't follow and arrest the crew, but at this point, this small business owner says he truly can't take anymore.
I'm broke. I'm flat broke.
Telling me his insurance company won't cover him anymore after so many burglaries. He has more than $20,000 in damage, more than $100,000 in inventory stolen. The window gates he's buying to protect the glass at both stores,
$18,000.
Let me stop there for 1 second. Because we'll see so many complaints from people. Well, first of all, the police went and chased them, and then the police wound up letting them go, and then they went up hitting other locations. So the police never actually stopped him or got him, right? That's 1. 2, we see so many times that people within our own culture will complain about how it ain't no grocery stores. They want to invest in our hoods. Man, don't y'all understand that that's private investment where people put their own hard-earned dollars into putting everything they can into starting these businesses and locations, and this is the only way that they have to make money? And then you walk in, do $100,000 in damage to the point to where the insurance companies don't even want to cover it anymore, and they don't even want to be in certain areas. Your insurance, y'all say it's insurance gouging, that is price gouging, right? And y'all will say, man, they redlining us and they charging us more money to do the same type of business as they do over in these other areas and stuff. Well, that's because it's going to cost more, because we know that we're taking a bigger risk. And it's a very high probability that your store is going to get broken into and all of your stuff is going to get taken. And so it then becomes a food desert. It becomes an opportunity desert. It becomes a crime-ridden zone. And then you'll say, oh, my God, do something about it. No, call the police and tell the people on who it is that's out there doing the crimes, because all y'all know who's doing it in your own hood. Somebody watched that video. Somebody watched the clip. They probably watching the clip like Chauncey in Menace to Society. They probably watching the same clip. They probably downloaded it and was like, yeah, man, look how sweet we are. Look how dope. Man, I got it up. Police chase them. Don't arrest them. If they do arrest them, they're going to get out as a result of the Illinois Safety Act. And they ain't going to have to even post no bond. They busting down stores and they tearing up people's stuff. And they costing insurance companies money, and then they ruining their neighborhoods.
Glass at both stores,
$18,000.
Police arrested these 3 Sunday.
Look at them. Look at them. Same suspects. Let me guess. Systematic racism, right? Being picked on. Same thing. It's the police's fault. It's the white man's fault. It's the system's fault. It's slavery's fault. It's the fact that we haven't gotten reparations, right? That's what's causing you little suckers to go out there and run in and break into people's stuff and take the stuff that they work for. Is that what it is? It's the same suspect. Look, he got on the same jacket. That red jacket is the same jacket that he was using to just break in on that video. And it's always a girl in there too nowadays. It ain't never just the guys no more. It's always a little hood rat girl. And usually they have red hair. Or they'll have a tattoo on their neck or a tattoo on their face.
Charged with theft, accused of walking in and stealing liquor from the Lakeview store. But the crew or crews behind the massive burglaries still out there, as this business owner here in Chicago for more than 20 years tells us he's hanging on by a thread.
I pay taxes, I pay whatever I'm supposed to pay. I need protection. I want some answers from the bosses of the city.
Chicago police wouldn't address our questions on what's being done to protect small businesses like this one and to crack down on these burglaries, but they do tell me they're still investigating all of them.
Yeah, okay. So you investigating all of them all at the same time, and we gonna figure it out. Meanwhile, it's the people that suffer. And, you know, we remember when Mayor Mohawk, shout out to my dog Kimley, we know that Mayor Mohawk don't call these people criminals. They are large gatherings. This is not violent people. These are people that have been systematically oppressed, and I would prefer that we address them accordingly. And this is large gatherings. And you know, the governor down there in Texas he's demonic. He's demonic. He's sick. And we try to set up structure to have the people come in here at regular business hours. And instead of them working with us, they continue to send buses by planes, trains, and automobiles. But we're going to continue to address the migrant crisis. And these are people that need help. They come in sick. We don't know what's wrong with them. And we're going to depend on our people, our residents, and our church leaders to ensure that they get the best available prognosis of care. And I don't care what happens. We're going to do the thing that is in the best interest of these people. And Biden, they don't help us. I've went to Washington 3 times. I've sent my delegates down to El Paso, Texas, to let me know what's going on there. Nothing. I've contacted Mayor Adams, Mike Johnston, Karen Bass. I've had panic attacks. I've been in the hospital. My mohawk doesn't even look the same. My mohawk doesn't even look the same anymore. And you know what we're going to continue to do? We're going to balance the budget. You know, the one thing that I've promised the people, and we have to continue to give them the best available care possible. The one thing that I've promised the people is I've promised them minimum wage hikes. I've allocated $500,000 to study reparations so we can get to the core of the issue of why Black people are committing these crimes in the first place. And we're going to continue to set up shelters and migrant care inside of the city of Chicago, and we will not sleep until we get all of our police departments migrant free, that visitors when they fly into Chicago, they should not have to pass by migrants inside of the airport. And we're going to allocate more resources over to understanding what the problem is so that I don't have a panic attack and the governor down there in Texas, they need to get some control and stop sending migrants without any kind of documentation at all hours of the night, and then buying them plane tickets and then sending them on buses and trains to get inside of Chicago's borders. I declare it in Jesus' name. Man, let me tell you, bro, these people got the same rhetoric and the same voice. We've heard it so much that we don't even need no deep fakes. All we got to do is just talk. Just talk.